What's up, everybody, and welcome to Tino's Tom Wrestling. This episode, it's Monday, it's in the afternoon. You might be confused on what we're doing here, but if you have not seen yet already today, this morning, it was announced that the game TripleH will now be in head of creative for WWE. We thought it was going to be Bruce Pritchard. We heard a few rumors that it was possibly going to be Bruce, but no, Triple H is in charge of WWE Creative. He is running all of it. What's up, Surf Wrestling? Welcome to the live stream. I am just over the moon. I am smiling like a little kid on Christmas. So I decided, let's put together a little video and let's talk about how this possibly will change WWE and the landscape forever. So let's start off first. Triple H is all yes, is definitely all. Yep, that's all they needed. But let's start in the beginning because this whole situation. There's been a lot going on this past week with Vince McMahon retiring, Bruce being named creative team. We have then Triple H has been announced. Stephanie was named as the CEO. We have so much going on in the wrestling. What's up, Jacob? Good afternoon. Happy Monday. Happy Monday, bro. How you doing? I thought it would be good to put a video together and let's talk about it and let's go through everything. So, like Tony Khan is in trouble now. Yeah, Tony Khan. We're going to talk about that too. Also, Tony Khan is definitely in trouble. But first, let's talk about what exactly does this mean? And this means that Triple H is now in charge of everything. So everybody has to go through Triple H. Bruce Pritchard also got demoted. So that means he's an executive producer of the creative team. But whatever Bruce says has to be cleared with Triple H first. So that's a good thing. And yes, I could very well see Bray Wyatt coming back. That would be, and that's the other thing we'll get into. What does this mean for people that have been released? What does this mean for people's contracts that, they're going to want to come back now? We talked a little bit about it when we talked about Vince being retired. I just think that, think about like Bray Wyatt or think that about other superstars like Sasha and Naomi will possibly come back. They have a better shot. Think about MJF possibly signing with WWE now because they would rather come to the creative with Triple H because they know that he's going to take care of them. Look at what he did with the Black and Gold brand. We talked about that also. There's just a lot to get to. So, yeah, like I said, first, I'm going to try to do this step by step. I always said Johnny Gargano too. He's another one. Well, there's a bunch of list of guys. But like I said, I want everybody to not expect changes right away. There's probably not going to be changes tonight. There's probably not going to be changes on tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday. Obviously, we'll probably see more swearing like we did Friday, and we'll probably see, Friday they mentioned Ring of Honor, they mentioned other promotions, and stuff like that just makes it feel like we could possibly see a Forbidden Door. So I wouldn't expect changes right away because obviously the card is already set for SummerSlam and everything, and I don't see that happening. But maybe we'll get Gunther. Maybe we'll see, we'll see people actually get an opportunity because we'll get into that too. Because what does this mean for guys like Butch? Could they go back to Pete Dunne? Could we see T-Bar come back as Dominic Dijakovic? Could we see Ciampa go back to being the monster and the evil guy that we know that he is instead of being with The Miz? There's just so many opportunities. But like I said, I wouldn't expect any changes this week. I expect things to get into, yes, Ricochet too. I expect things to be not changing right away, but I could definitely see it after SummerSlam. I could see them coming up with plans this week and starting everything fresh. So the first thing, now that we got everything out of the way and everything like that, let's start off with, what does this mean? We'll start off first with the superstars. What does this mean for all of the superstars in NXT? All the guys that have left because they had problems with Vince, Sasha, and Naomi. And I think that this very well gives everybody the opportunity to come back. Could Liv finally have a promo coach too? Maybe. I mean, I'm sure Triple H could help with that. But I think that, with the NXT superstars and people like Adam Cole or like MJF, I think that they could very well come back or even sign. And they're, like I said a minute ago, they'd rather be under Triple H's creative. Because, look at what Triple H did with NXT Black and Gold. It was the best wrestling promotion at the time. Nobody was watching Raw or SmackDown. They were tuning into Hulu, the WWE Network, that 1 hour to watch NXT. I forgot about it half the time, but I always tried to tune in because it was just so good. It was what wrestling should be. It's what WWE should be. And, obviously, like I said, Bruce will still be there, but and that's what I'm saying. A guy like MJF, guys like I said, Adam Cole, maybe the Undisputed Era, maybe, Tony Storm, maybe all these people, if they don't like it in AEW and stuff happens, maybe they'll come back. Maybe we could see the return of Jon Moxley. Maybe Jon Moxley returns to WWE at some point. This just brings so many opportunities for superstars out of the business, that have left the business, that are retired, that don't want to deal with Vince. And I just think that it will be very good to see the freshness and the relaxedness and Triple H not being so on them, and they could they could actually have and feel like they're wanted and they're going to be taken care of. So it should be really interesting to see what happens and which superstars come back. Maybe, like I said, obviously they have to wait out their contracts and stuff like that. But like you said, Johnny Wrestling, he's not doing nothing. Maybe we see the return of Johnny Wrestling and Candice LeRae. Maybe they come back. And I mean, as stupid as it sounds, maybe they put them in a tag team match versus The Miz and Maurice or something. Who knows? I don't know. I'd rather not have that happen. But I mean, I'm sure that they would rather come back. But now that we talked about some of the people saying that Bruce and Vince wanted another reason, yeah, possibly. And that's something that you have to think about, because think about how much stuff has happened just in the last 2 weeks that, Triple H, not Triple H, but that has come out about the McMahon family, that has come out about all this stuff that makes a lot of sense why these people are doing these things, or why this is going to do that, or why this person is doing that. You just don't know. And it's starting to make sense. And if people want to see Triple H, and if they see that Triple H is doing a good job and they know that they're going to be taken care of, they'd just rather come back. So, like I said, now that we talked about some, the people outside of the business, hello, how are you doing? Welcome to the live stream. I appreciated everybody coming and stopping by on this Tuesday afternoon. We got a lot going on. Mandy Rose, she was on After the Bell with Corey Graves last Friday, and she was talking about having the opportunity to go back to Raw or SmackDown and become Raw or SmackDown Women's Champion and main event WrestleMania. Mandy Rose is one of those girls that could become and be a WrestleMania main eventer because of everything she did in NXT. Because that's the thing now with NXT, Bruce was in charge of NXT too. So does that mean Triple H is going to be in charge of creative for NXT too? Yes, Triple H will be in charge of NXT creative. Could we see the NXT mesh with the Black and Gold brand? And could we see stuff happen that we never thought we could see, because they're going to do it because Triple H is in charge? People have to be, yes. And that was the one thing we were talking about a little bit earlier, but 4 minutes ago, is you don't expect changes right away. We'll probably see little tweaks here and there. Raw is a must-see show tonight. We got Rey Mysterio's 20-year anniversary. We got the Romanreigns is returning. We got Logan Paul coming tonight. There's a lot of things going on, so it's a must-see show. But yeah, I agree with you, Squared Circle, that we shouldn't expect changes right away, because it's just not going to happen. There's not going to be we're not going to come out and all of a sudden be in the Attitude Era 1 second. Appreciate everybody coming and stopping by. Welcome to the live stream, everybody. How's everybody feeling? Triple H is in charge of creative. He's writing down the notes. He's getting ready. All we need to do is kick out Bruce Pritchard. We're popping the bottles. We're celebrating. I appreciate everybody stopping by. Tino, I think Edge versus Seth Rollins will mention letting him in as Wyatt tease. Maybe we do see a Wyatt tease. If Bruce and Nick Khan, Kevin Dunn are not removed, it will be apparently Bruce has been demoted, so that's good. I mean, it's a start. But Jacob, facts. Bring back TakeOver. That's another thing. We didn't even talk about the pay-per-views yet. Pay-per-views. We could see the return of NXT TakeOver. Maybe we see the return of, like, we've seen the Great American Bash. We've seen what other ones have we seen? Oh my god, I can't even think of the Great American Bash is one. The oh my god, I can't. In Your House. There's other pay-per-views that we had. Maybe we see them on Raw and SmackDown. Maybe we see Judgment Day back. Literally, they have a stable named Judgment Day. So let's bring a stable Armageddon. Like, there's so many pay-per-views that they could bring back. There's so many different types of opportunities with this. With Triple H being in charge, I have never been so excited, people. Like, I'm sitting here. I started the live stream 30 minutes early because I'm this excited. We got Taboo. Taboo Tuesday is a perfect example. Why are they not doing that every year? With the way social media works and the way everybody is doing social media now, Taboo Tuesday or Cyber Sunday would be one of the most watched pay-per-views, one of the most interactive pay-per-views, and you would get people that don't even watch wrestling watch it because they want to be able to vote. They want to see what the thing's going to be. That's the other thing. Get rid of gimmick matches too, because there's no reason to have a TLC, a Hell in the Cell, a Money in the Bank if we're only going to see one match. Like, let's have a match and let's have it mean something. Like, put Money in the Bank back at WrestleMania. Let's put money, let's make the pay-per-views and let's make those matches mean something. Like, let's have, even the Sunday night, Saturday night main event. Let's see like a 1 hour Saturday night main event show. Let's see Ring of Honor get their own TV show, because let's be real here, people. Death Before Dishonor, I'm getting a little off track, but Death Before Dishonor was really good. So let's see like Saturday night main event go up against the Ring of Honor show on a Saturday night or something like that. There's so many opportunities where the point, people might not like everything that Tony Khan may do, but bring back, and this, I think Tony Khan and Triple H could work very well together and be the guys and be, and put together a really good show. Yes, bring back pre-show matches. How many pre-show matches have we seen on pay-per-views, guys, that have been phenomenal, and they've been better than some of the matches that they put on the main card, and people are talking about this pre-show match, and it's like, this match was phenomenal. And speaking of that, let's talk about the guys that are like, we've been talking about a lot, whatever, but let's talk about a lot like now. Like, let's see Gunther. Let's see Austin, or the U.S. champion Bobby Lashley. Let's see them get up to wherever they are. Let's get rid of the name changes. Let's get rid of the one names. Like, let's call somebody Tommaso Ciampa. Let's call somebody Rick Boogs. Let's call somebody like, oh my god, I can't even think of people like like Butch. Why can't we just get back Pete Dunne? Why can't, there's no reason for the name changes. There's no reason for anything with that. And yet, that's another thing about the championships with the brand split. If we're not going to have a Raw or SmackDown champion on both brands, why even have a brand split? Like, let's have Drew McIntyre take one title off of Roman. Let's see Drew be a champion on Raw. Let Roman do what he wants to do. Let him be the tribal chief if he wants to be. And let's see what happens with that. But I don't think that there's a point of the brand split if we're not going to have both champions, because Roman's never there. And what are these guys fighting for? To be the best of not holding the title? The whole reason why all these guys come to WWE and want to be there, they want to be the main event. They want to be champion. They want to be the undisputed champion and everything. Like, And speaking of one of the champions, let's get rid of the 24/7 championship. I'm going to take a minute to talk about this, because don't get me wrong, I love R-Truth, the 24/7 highway living 28/7 I can't even think of all the things. Champion, 70-time, 24/7 champion. But why do we need the Runa tag team match last week with the women to have 7 roll-ups and have 5 new champions just for Dana Brooke to win the champion again and walk out? We don't need so many. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. We need wrestling. We'll get into that too. We need wrestling. We need not like a bunch of random video packages and promos and everything. Like, if they want to do promos, let's do the promos like they did for NXT with Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole when they had the prime target. Like, yes, let's get rid of, we'll talk about that too. Let's get rid of all the banned words. Like, why are we not allowed to say some of the banned words? Let's get rid of the thing where you could use blood. Like, I'm just talking a little fast, guys. But I just think that there's just like, I think that it would be better in every aspect to change the product once it gets going and once everything is like settled and SummerSlam passes. We're going to see, not like I said earlier, it's not going to be right away. But once we do start seeing those changes, I think that it's going to be really good. And yes, we were talking about superstars. Now that Triple H is in charge, I will bet people, remember that your boy Tino said this, within 2 months, Max Dupree returns as LA Knight. I'm calling it right now. I think Bray Wyatt could easily return. There have been talks about it, and this just makes it even better. Because you have to think about it. People are going to want to go to Triple H. But Wyatt as Universal Champion would be dope. So, we've talked a lot about like the pay-per-views. We've talked a lot about the champions. Let's ununify the tag team champions. Let's make tag team wrestling great again. How about that? Let's make tag team wrestling great again. Hashtag make tag team wrestling great again. I love the Usos, but we don't need 2 tag team champions to hold them. We need to have them on just like the WWE and Universal Champion. I just think it would be better, And, Austin Theory, we'll have to see what happens with Theory now. And that's the thing. Why Theory's another one. Where's the Austin? Just because Stone Cold Steve Austin is named Steve Austin, we're not going to get confused. We still love the Rattlesnake, 316, give me the beers, pop the bottles. Like, we get it. Like, it's fine. Sasha's fired. I think Sasha could very well come back. I think Sasha could and possibly will come back if she sees that Triple H is in charge. I said it in the beginning of the show. This gives, if they show Triple H that he is doing good, we could see so many guys come from different promotions, resign, come back. Ciampa, Tommaso Ciampa. Let's bring back Pete Dunne. Let's just get rid of, honestly, I would restart. Let's vacate all the titles. Let's restart. Let's do a draft. Let's start the draft tonight, and let's just restart WWE. We know that ain't going to happen, but that's what I would do. So I just think that, this is going to be a great opportunity to see how everything will happen. And yes, Monday tonight is a must-see show. I like I said, I wouldn't expect changes tonight, but I think we could see some little things. And maybe we do see SummerSlam become TV 14 because maybe we'll see that become reality faster because once that is announced, then, we could see a lot edgier stuff and everything like that. And, JD from New York, one of my favorite podcasters out there, give him a shout out. He said it's the second greatest day in wrestling history. Vince McMahon retiring was the first, but this was the news we've all been waiting for because even like someone said in here, with Bruce and Nick in charge, there wasn't going to be any changes, and Kevin Dunn. There wasn't going to be any changes because those are still Vince McMahon's guys. But now that, we got to love JD. Shout out to JD, man. He's the best. What you drinking? He's just funny. But I just I think that now that Triple H is in charge, because we saw the report, Bruce Pritchard was going to be in charge, and we saw that, that it was going to be Bruce, head of creative. But then this morning, Nick Khan and Stephanie said that's not the case, and Triple H is in charge. So I just think that, yes, he's going to make things so much better, and he's just going to make more things fresher. Because let's talk about the weekly television now. Let's talk about Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. What is the one thing that we have seen on a weekly basis over and over again? Rematches. Triple H ain't going to do rematches. We aren't going to see the Usos versus the New Day 17 times. We aren't going to see the Miz versus Ezekiel 45 times. We won't see Lacey Evans come out and think that she's going to talk for 45 minutes and then come out and do her dance and then leave. We aren't going to see that anymore because Triple H didn't do that in NXT. If you remember NXT, yes, he did like Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly 3 times. But those are the rivalries that did it. We don't need to see like random matches over and over again. Or for the love of God, please get rid of Dawkins versus Jay and Ford versus Jimmy, and then Jimmy versus Ford, and then Jay versus Dawkins. We don't need to see that. There's better ways to build to the main event or of a storyline or a pay-per-view match or a weekly match than being in a match, in a singles match every single week. There's no reason for it. Let's see fresher names. Let's see the people that are in catering get an opportunity. How many people do we need to see backstage, not on weekly television, that deserve the chance and deserve the opportunity to be on WWE weekly television? There's 7 hours of WWE weekly television. And let's be real here, people. How many hours of wrestling do we actually watch on those 3 days? Maybe 4, 5, not even, like 2. Within those 7 hours, I bet you we get at least 2 hours of wrestling. No more ripping up scripts. That's next thing. We can build storylines. Like I've been bringing on my man JD. Long-term booking. You put people on the map. You put them in a storyline. You write it out. Like they say, remember my name. You write out the script, and then you leave it. And then you could come up with different ideas, and we're not having panic attacks at 5:30 and Raw starts at 7 because Vince McMahon doesn't like the Viking Raiders. We got to be the vicious Viking Raiders, and they got to come out and beat up the New Day. No, let's see actual scripts booked months in advance. Like, what if they had Survivor Series booked already? That would take so much off the plate. Like, it's so funny. Because we could have people literally coming to the show an hour before the show, and then you're not going to be on the show because Vince doesn't like it. No, put Aaliyah on the show. Put Lacey, we might not like Lacey Evans very much. Put Lacey Evans on the show. Where's Chauncey been at? Put Chauncey on the show. What about Tegan Knox? What about all those women from NXT that got released for no reason because Vince didn't like what they were doing and he didn't even give them the opportunity? Like, it's so irritating. But with Triple H in charge now, people, it brings so much opportunities and so many opportunities to WWE Creative that, like I said, with the scripts, the rematches, let's see wrestling. Like I said, we don't see very much wrestling on weekly television. Let's see a good 25-minute match. I'd rather watch Seth Rollins and Ricochet tear the house down for 25 minutes than watch 4 random matches in an hour of Raw. Because let's be real here, people. If you join me every week on my live streams, we're sitting here like this at 8 o'clock, like 9:30, like, oh, it's a whole nother hour. We got this and that. No, let's be ready and excited for the last hour because that's what it should be. I want to see pro wrestling. That's the other thing. Let's get rid of the names. I was talking about the band names. Let's be able to call wrestlers pro wrestlers. Of course, they're going to be sports entertainers too, but they're also pro wrestlers. They're wrestlers. They put on a show. They could be both. Like, it's okay. It's okay. Deep breath. It's going to be okay, people, if we call them pro wrestlers. Let's get, If I was talking about the 24/7 championship, bring back the hardcore championship or bring back a modern day version of it. Last Monday night, man, that's what I'm saying. That is a great example, Underground Temple. I think you were the one also that said it about Nick Khan and Bruce and everything about them leaving. Yeah. Let's see Survivor Series mean something again. Let's see the 5-on-5 matches with a rivalry and not like let's put the best 5 versus the best 5, but there's no storyline, there's no build, and there's 10 minutes or there's 2 weeks until the pay-per-view. Like, yes, Mufasa Ali. Let's see the people. Let's see, even if they want, let's see them put my main event on TV an hour before on the WWE Network. Mufasa Ali and Ricochet have had phenomenal matches and phenomenal storylines on main event. And if you're not a wrestling, like a guru, like a freak like me, you wouldn't see that. But if it was on the network, it is on the network, but if it was on like an hour before on like True TV or so, I don't know. I'm just saying, there's like ways. Dominic Dijakovic, I talked about it. Let's see him come back as T-Bar. Max Dupree, LA Knight, Butch, Pete Dunne. Let's see Chauncey Blackheart, Ciampa, Tommaso Ciampa. I could go on and on. Like, it's ridiculous, people. We could sit here until 8 o'clock and talk about this all day long because yes, that's a great surf wrestling, great example. Roderick Strong asked for his release a little bit ago, but maybe now that Triple H is in charge, maybe we don't see that. Maybe we see Roderick Strong stay. Like I said earlier, maybe we see the return of the Undisputed Era one day. Maybe we see the return of Miro. Maybe we see the return of Big Show and Mark Henry, Chris Jericho. We could possibly see Chris Jericho in the Hall of Fame. I mean, I think he probably would have won it eventually. But yeah, let's stop signing. Like, don't get me wrong. I love Logan Paul. I think he's doing his thing. Love Pat McAfee. I love, some of the influence. Bad Bunny did his thing in the main event last year, or in pretty much the main event, or high-profile match, I should say. But let's, put other people in those spots because I'd rather see Ciampa and Pete Dunne could be a main or a mid-card for the Intercontinental or United States champion. But these two are being Butch and Ciampa's with The Miz. Don't get me wrong. I was going to give it a shot, but I just think that, will the match of Randy Orton be seen ahead of the match of these two? Could be. Yeah. Could we see The Rock be here? Could we see people? What's up, DD? How you guys doing? What's up, everybody? Make sure to smash that like button if you haven't already. We got 20 people in the stream. Let's get 20 likes. Everybody, make sure to hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I appreciate everybody coming here and hanging out with your boy Tino on this Monday before Rey Mysterio's 20-year anniversary and Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw is a must-see show. Let's see John Cena come back. Less promos and more wrestling. Yes. Put the mid-card title. Did you guys know that the last time the Intercontinental Championship was defended on a pay-per-view was WrestleMania, the first year that fans were back, with Big E and Apollo Crews? Like, come on. Why is Gunther versus Shinsuke Nakamura not announced already? That's a phenomenal match that I want to see, and I know everybody in the stream would want to see. Let's see AJ Styles be the phenomenal one again. Let's see AJ Styles become champion again. Let's see him be the face that runs the place. He ran SmackDown from 2016 to 2018. He was doing his thing. Stephanie snitched on Vince for better the come. I mean, hey, whatever it takes, people. Vince needed to be gone. Like I said, Bruce Pritchard's still there, Nick Khan's still there, and Kevin Dunn. But to be honest, I don't see it lasting very long, and I do not see them being there as long as people may think. I think that they'll be out possibly by the end of the year. Maybe Triple H brings his own guys back in. That's the other thing. Maybe Shawn Michaels gets involved, because remember, Shawn Michaels has not been involved in creative for NXT. It's been Bruce Pritchard and Vince McMahon. So maybe Shawn could run NXT. Maybe Triple H will just run SmackDown. Maybe Paul Heyman. What about the man, the right-hand man, my tribal chief, I love you, my tribal chief, I love you. Maybe he could run one show. We know what Paul Heyman could do. He ran Raw and SmackDown for a very long time at one point, and we saw how good everything was. Like, with creative and everything, this just could change, like I said, the landscape of WWE. There's so much things. This will increase the pub. Like, let's be real. Tonight is going to be the most watched WWE Raw in probably a while, because people want to see what's going to happen. And like I said, we're not going to see something. Nothing's going to be fashion. Maybe Triple H will come out. Maybe he'll be like, it's my time. It's the game. Maybe he will. Maybe. But I don't expect to see blood and hardcore matches and this and that. But I could very well see, maybe we see MJF. Maybe prediction. Remember this, July 25th. My bad. July 25th. See, I don't even know what day it is. MJF will debut in the Royal Rumble 2023 at the entrance number 29. Remember this day. Remember this time. At what time is it, to be exact? 2:02 p.m. that MJF will be debuting at WWE at the Royal Rumble. That's my prediction for MJF. We'll have to see though. Tonight is going to be a must-see show. And yes, it is going to be a test, because people are going to expect a little changes and a couple things to not be, they're going to expect things to be changed, but, I don't expect it to. But I think that they need to at least show that there's a little change. Like, we just want to feel. Like, if I turn on Smack or Raw tonight and I see a rematch, if I see some random stuff happen, I'm going to scream. Like, let's see some fresh faces we haven't seen in a while. Who's some people, like I said, Chauncey hasn't been seen since Money in the Bank. We haven't seen so many people. Let's see somebody come up and no more jokes about, you don't like the tiny balls jokes? Miz got tiny balls? I mean, they already got a t-shirt made for it, so I mean, they might keep it around. Let me get a drink, people. Appreciate everybody coming and stopping by here. We got 22 people in the live stream. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Io Shirai is another one. I could literally sit here for days and mention people that could come back. And yes, no more. Squash matches are fine, but let's make them like James Ellsworth. Like, look at what James Ellsworth did in 2016, 2017 with being a jobber. He made a name for himself. He impressed Braun Strowman. He impressed a lot of people I don't think people thought he would. And then he became, and he was in a rivalry with AJ Styles. He was Mr. Carmella's sidekick. He won Money in the Bank for her. Let's see something like that. Let's see different fun ways of making a product on a weekly basis good. Because you don't need to have it is funny. We don't need to have the Hell in the Cell matches on Mondays, but let's have, like I said, a good 30-minute match. Let's have a good 20-minute match. Let's have a good promo. Let's have a good storyline being told, because we talk about it a lot, and people this is one thing that I do want to say, is that I feel like people say wrestling is fake, wrestling is this and that, but we all watch TV shows. We all watch movies. We all get invested into the storyline, into the characters, and we fall in love with them, or we like them, we don't like them. And that's exactly what pro wrestling is, and pro sports entertainment, whatever the hell we want to call it. I'm going to call it pro wrestling now. But that's what it is. Get invested into the storylines. Get invested into the characters. Because I'll be honest, when I was a kid, I'm sure everybody thought the same. I thought Undertaker and Kane were brothers, and I only learned that like 4 years ago that they weren't. I thought it was. I don't know. It is what it is. But I was so invested. I thought that they were brothers. I thought that they were like, because they made it seem to be. And yes, obviously the internet is different now. But even like when I watch AEW, like I think the Jericho Appreciation Society hates all these people. But in reality, they're putting on a performance for us and they tear the house down. And, that was one of the reasons why I wanted to start covering AEW was because it made pro wrestling and it made wrestling fun to watch again, even though it can't be as good as it is sometimes. And yes, Tony Khan is Tony Khan and everything. But I mean, still on a weekly basis, it's so much better than watching Raw and SmackDown. Yes, and that's the thing. Some of the moves do hurt. Some of the actual things, like let's be real, Chris Jericho going through that barbed wire last week, that hurt. Like, did anybody see his back? My dream, Roman Reigns versus John Cena. Heck yeah, let's see that. Run it back. Maybe John Cena will come back faster than we thought. Who knows? There's been so many things that have happened and have come out. Maybe that's part of the reason why a lot of these guys don't want to come back. But we've also heard a lot of people say on social media and in public now and in and on podcast that they feel that like they're just not appreciated. They don't feel like that they're wanted and they don't feel like that they're needed. But with Triple H in charge, and again, remember Stephanie is the CEO with Nick Khan, and yes, they will listen to fans. They're gonna listen to us. We're not gonna be, Triple H is on social media. Stephanie is on social media. Stephanie is always and she's always trying to do stuff to get better with the community that I think she'll see what we want and she'll see how many things that, people like and what people want and see. I just think it's going to be so much better because we don't have somebody that's 77 years old involved. Because I'll talk about the other sport, the White Sox. Baseball, White Sox got a 70-something-year-old manager, and he don't know what the hell he's doing. And, it's just the same thing with Vince. It's like they don't know what we like. They're not up to the 2022. This isn't 2000. This isn't 1980. This is 2022 in the 22nd century and living in this crazy world where gas is $70 million. I mean, it's crazy, people. That, I just think, yes, Braun Strowman. Because that's another thing. I think that now that Triple H is in charge, I think that we're not going to see the name changes. And I think we're going to see them come up and be what we want them to be. We're not going to see them come up and be with Corbin or The Miz or who else? Finn Balor. I mean, there's just so many people that have went and been with different types of superstars and different types of things that I think that these people, Killer Cross, perfect example. This man was brought up to Raw. They got rid of Scarlett. They got rid of everything. They put a mask on him and he comes out in this skirt. What is this like what are we watching? Like, I don't know what the hell we're watching, but Killer Cross is somebody. Bring back Killer Cross after he does that phenomenal match that he's going to do in a few weeks. Stop the lame finishes. Yes, that's something we're going to talk about. After I talk about Cross, we're going to get into that next. Let's, bring back Killer Cross with Scarlett. Bring them back and let's see them be what we know that they could be. And, I just think Killer Cross would be he's a great example of somebody that could be, he was the ultimate Power Ranger. Yes, let's not know Killer Cross is the Power Ranger. Let's know Killer Cross is killer. He's going to come to Raw and SmackDown and kill you. And, let's stop. Let's get clean finishes. Let's get matches and storylines finished without it being a disqualification. Or like with Lacey Evans and Aaliyah, we talked a little bit about them earlier. Let's see them not come out and pretend to have a match and then Lacey Evans walks out. Excuse me, guys, my bad. Talking a lot. It's a lot going on today. I appreciate everybody coming to stop by. We got 14 people in the stream. 14. Let's get up 14 likes, everybody. Please, if you haven't already, please hit that like button. Help your boy Tino out, But I just think that, yeah. And let's, like you said, with the DQs, let's have clean matches and clean finishes where we feel the story ends. Like on GM mode, if you finish the story, it says story complete and rivalry complete. Like over and over again. Like, let's not have it. Like, I'm over of watching weekly television because, people might say, and they might act like, why do you watch this? Or why do you sit there? And why do you do this? And why do you do that? Because I love pro wrestling. I've always loved wrestling. You guys see the stuff behind me. I got more stuff in front of me. It's like, I love professional wrestling and I want to remember it for being great. And watching it I want to be able to tell my kids, guys, this was pro wrestling and this is what I grew up watching. I don't want to show them this stuff that we watch on a weekly basis because Vince is trying to please people just because he doesn't think that it is best for business or he thinks it's good shit. It's not good shit. We tell you what's good shit and you don't listen to us. We have to literally yell at you on Twitter and you have to block us because you don't want to listen and hear what we have to say, but you can't do wrestling, pro wrestling, without the WWE universe. You could say then, now, forever, and we're together, and you love us or whatever, but prove it to us. And this is the start of the proving it, because we haven't really talked too much about the investigation here on, because I'm just so excited about Triple H being in charge, but if that's what this is taken and this is what it happens, they always say everything happens for a reason. And maybe Vince finally stepping down, maybe all of this coming out and maybe all of this happened for a reason. So, because let's be real here, people. When was Vince going to leave? Vince was never going to retire. He was going to die in that chair. He was going to die on the creative chair, in the chair at WrestleMania, Austin Theory winning Money in the Bank, or cashing in Money in the Bank, winning the Universal and WWE Championship, and then Vince McMahon was going to croak. He was not going to leave if any of this came out. He really wasn't. So, I mean, let's not act like he was. And, and maybe we will get The Rock versus Roman. I am praying, pray to baby Jesus that we get Roman Reigns versus The Rock. Let's get Butch versus Tommaso Ciampa. Let's get all of these matches and all of these things and all of these storylines. Long-term booking. We talked about the scripts earlier. Let's have the scripts be written out months in advance so people know what they're doing. And let's listen. Like, if Aaliyah has an idea, if Sonya Deville, I need to take my hat off for this one. I didn't even mention this one. Let's get rid of Nikki, almost a superhero. We don't need a superhero on television. We had the Hurricane and Molly Holly. That was fine. We don't need Nikki coming out as almost a superhero. Let's see the return of Nikki Cross, the evil girl that was with Sanity. Let's see stables. Let's see people like Undisputed Era. Let's see people like the Wyatt family. Let's see people like Hit Row. Let's see Toxic Attraction. Let's see factions come up and make it. And let's see like WWE versus the NXT crew. Let's see something like that. Like, let's see War Games, WWE versus NXT. I just made a pay-per-view. WWE NXT 2.0 promote War Games. And imagine that. Imagine having an NXT superstar be in an elimination chamber or a Hell in the Cell. Maybe they could do that. Maybe now they could have Triple H will put matches like Money in the Bank or Hell in the Cell. Not all the time, because obviously it wouldn't make it the same. But let's see like a rivalry like Tommaso and Johnny Gargano inside Hell in the Cell or something. Or like, let's bring back the cage that Matt Riddle and Timothy Thatcher fought in. That was a phenomenal match. And yes, Triple H will listen to the superstars. He is going to listen to what everybody wants and everybody will say. everybody is going to listen to him, and they're going to listen, and he's going to listen to them, and they're going to bounce stuff off of each other. And that's what it should be. It shouldn't be me telling you, hey, Vince, let me try the. No, it's not good shit. No. I like it my way. If Vince's way, it's good shit. No. Triple H is going to be like, hey, Sasha, you got an idea? Hey, Sasha, okay, I like it, but let me see. Maybe you could tweak it a little, and it's perfect. And we go out and we see Sasha Banks and Naomi. Maybe we will see the return of the women's championships. Maybe we'll see them actually be used. But if not, get rid of them. We talked about the championships earlier. But let's get rid of the women's tag team champions and not let them have a banking, or bring up Toxic Attraction to win the women's tag team champions, or bring, maybe we could see people. I even heard this on a podcast. I forgot if it was Out of Character, After the Bell. It even might have been the Sessions. They said use NXT as a place where, say, like Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo, Los Ladores, put them down in NXT and let's see them fight. They've been impressive, but let's stop with the kiss cam and let's see them go out, and let's see them, we could put people in NXT, and they've kind of done it, but let's not do it with Natalya or Dolph Ziggler, or let's do it with people that actually want to be there and actually need to be built and built into characters, because we know Natty, we know Dolph Ziggler, we know Apollo Crews is a great example. Apollo Crews is a great example of somebody that could go down there and be beneficial. And El Tecnino saying 4 horsewomen versus Toxic Attraction. I'm down for it. Let's see Sonya Deville join Toxic Attraction with Mandy Rose, because that they're best friends. They have donuts on Uber Eats. They're doing their thing. Mandy Rose has completely turned her career around. That's phenomenal. Do that at Survivor Series. Let's see matches like that. Let's see takeovers. Let's see. There's just, I could sit here for hours, people, and just talk to everybody about everything that could possibly happen with WWE now. And that is just because Triple H will be involved, and Triple H is going to care, and Triple H is going to listen to us, and he's going to, it's not going to happen right away. It's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen Saturday. I hope TV 14 starts on Saturday. That would be dope, because I'll be here live on Saturday. Make sure to come hang out with your boy Tino. But I just think that it's a good day. It's a good day in wrestling, people. Triple H is now in charge of WWE Creative. There's so many different opportunities that could go down in this and change in WWE. We will have to see everything that does happen, because, like I said, obviously it won't happen tonight, but maybe they have the script ready and we're going to see a good show, because, tonight we have the 20-year anniversary of Rey Mysterio, Buaka 619. We have Logan Paul returning, and he's having impulsive TV. That's another thing. Let's stop seeing TV, or let's stop seeing talk shows for every superstar. We don't need impulsive TV. Kevin Owens show, The Miz TV. What else do we have? We had Chris Jericho TV at one point when he was in WWE. We have so many talk shows. They did the Hello Ding Dong with Bailey. They've done like why did Kevin Owens was funny for a minute, but he didn't need to have a show that long. Like, I'd rather see matches than see people sit there and not. I think it would be so much better. No more balls. I think you just like saying balls is what it is, because you keep saying it. But I don't know. It's going to be really, really interesting to see everything that does happen in WWE now that Triple H is in charge of creative, because there's so many opportunities. It's a good day in wrestling, people. If you're not celebrating, you don't watch wrestling. Grab whatever you're drinking, pop the bottles, grab a couple chugs of the beer or whatever the heck you want to drink, and have a good night. because we are celebrating Rey Mysterio 20 years tonight. Triple H is now in charge of WWE. It's only going up from here. There is so much that could possibly happen. We are on the week of SummerSlam. SummerSlam is this week. There's a lot going on, people. I feel like I live in this spot now because stuff's coming out and we got to record. And we got to let you guys all know about it. So I appreciate everybody coming here and checking out my thoughts about Triple H being in charge of WWE Creative now and being the guy that is going to lead WWE to the promised land. So, everybody, we have a lot going on this week for SummerSlam. We have the Rey Mysterio tribute coming out in less than 40 minutes or less than an hour. Make sure to go check out that coming out at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. We put together a tribute for our man Buwaka Rey Mysterio. It's going to be a good time. We have a little bit of a surprise for you. I kind of did something. I was kind of funny. Edge possibility tonight. I'm going to say it right now. Make sure, everybody, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I appreciate you guys. Please like this episode. Make sure to come and hang out with your boy Tino tonight. After the tribute video goes live, we go live. Tino's Time Wrestling. Your boy Tino will be live at 7 p.m. for Monday Night Raw tonight. So, everybody, remember, we also have Fight for the Fallen this Wednesday, Fight for the Fallen. Then Thursday, I'm going to give you my predictions for everything that's going to go down at the biggest party of the summer in Nashville, Tennessee. I need an answer. I don't understand what you're saying now. Chris Jericho is gone, which makes no sense. I'm talking about some big dream. I was saying about the talk shows. I was saying about like so many talk shows in WWE that like Chris Jericho had his talk show, Kevin Owens, stuff like that. I know what Chris Jericho was gone. I was thinking about it. It just came to my head. But yeah, no. And yeah, I think all the big matches, John Cena. So I didn't see it. I was going to get to it after. But John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. Let's see that again. John Cena versus Roman Reigns. We've seen that, but that was phenomenal. Let's see the leader of the Scene Nation versus the head of the table, Roman Reigns. I think that would be great. Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton. Great match, I think. Randy Orton versus Brock Lesnar. And we've seen that too at SummerSlam. That would be another phenomenal match. Great rivalries, I think, could be very well started. And dream matches are now more of a bigger possibility. Sorry about that, my man, dude. I didn't see that. I didn't see your tweet. But yeah, I mean, there's so many dream matches that we could possibly happen now. We could see NXT versus WWE Superstars, like I said. Maybe we see Braun Breaker versus Roman Reigns at Survivor Series. Maybe we see a triple threat match and we see NXT be involved in Survivor Series every single year because they were involved in Chicago in 2019. But then where the hell have they been the last 3 years? It's not like they went away. They've all still been the same. They've still been doing the same thing. So it's not like that's not a possibility. I think that would be great for WWE to have NXT be a part of some of the big pay-per-views like Survivor Series, like the Royal Rumble, like a WrestleMania. Let's see the NXT Championship and the Women's Championship on the main card for a WrestleMania. I think that would be great. Even if they do a takeover the Saturday before or the Friday before. Let's move SmackDown back to Thursdays and let's have NXT pay-per-views on Friday nights. I mean, that's just a possibility, you know? Bring back Backstage Brawl. I didn't even talk about that. That's another great point. We'll stay here for a little bit longer, guys. But because there's just so much more to talk about. Backstage Brawls. Let's bring back the Backstage Brawls and let's see these guys fight in the back because we see it in, I know it sounds silly, but we see it in the My Rise on WWE 2K22. Let's see them go out there. Let's see them have a match and let's see them beat each other up until somebody's knocked out. Sorry about my dog barking, guys. My bad. But, you know, I just think that there's so many different, like let's see funny segments like Kurt Angle coming out with a guitar. Let's see somebody do that. Like, you could still be comedic, but you need to make it funny and not corny. Like, there's no reason to come out with these jokes that Madcap Moss was coming out with that made no sense, that nobody understood, and Vince is in the back probably laughing his ass off. And it's like, what the hell are you talking about? Bring back street fights. Bring back, like, the hardcore matches. Bring back Falls Count Anywhere, where we actually fight in the parking lot, or we fight in, like, the backstage by the cars. Remember John Cena versus JBL backstage? That was one of the best matches ever. And John Cena and JBL beat the hell out of each other, and they tore a bunch of cars down. Let's see people throw titles in the river, even if it's a fake title. Like, stuff like that made it feel so much Super Blood. Let's bring back Super Blood. I agree with you. I agree with you, James. I agree. Bring back blood. We need to see blood because blood makes it feel more real, and blood makes it just, like I said earlier, about feeling real and being invested in the storylines. When I see somebody bleed, I'm like, damn, like, they hate each other. Like, damn, you hate that somebody that much that you got to make him bleed? Like, damn, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, we still need TV 14, of course. Yes, we still do need that. But I think that it will happen a lot faster now that Triple H is in charge. I think, it was possibly going to happen at SummerSlam. It was possibly going to happen last week or whatever. But I think that this now is a real reality that it could happen Saturday. It could happen next Monday. Maybe it even happens Friday. Maybe they take the 4 days. Maybe they plan Raw tonight. They plan NXT Wednesday and Thursday. They announce it Thursday. Maybe we're back here on a live stream on Friday announcing that is officially TV 14. Because we will be live whenever they break the news, because your boy Tino will now be live every time we break some news. Don't you worry. Or not attractive. Yes. And that's the thing. Stop. Yes, we love the women, and yes, we love like this and that, but women can wrestle. They can beat the hell out of each other, still look pretty, still look beautiful, and still put on a goddamn show and tear the house down and make women's wrestling great again. Like I said, we can make so many things great and so many things awesome that I think that WWE is going to bring back so many different people that haven't watched it in a long time, that people are going to be like, oh my God, this is wrestling again. This is pro wrestling. This isn't the corny shit that's been on since 2009 or 2012, whenever they started the PG era. I forgot exactly the year. I think it was like 2009. Randy Orton versus Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. Dream matches galore, people. Like I said, let's see. Like I said, let's see Carmelo Hayes be called up. Let's see people that we know can be on the main roster. Let's see what they can do. Let's see, there's so many rivalries. Let's see the Midcard Championship be as prestigious as it was when it was Miz versus Dolph Ziggler, or Miz versus Daniel Bryan, or when Kofi Kingston had it at one point. Like, there was just so many people that had great runs as mid-card champions. United States champion John Cena. Go on and on and on with all the people that held the United States championship. Like, let's see them be prestigious. Let's see them like me. I loved, I'll say it, my favorite championship growing up was the Spinner US Championship. It wasn't the WWE World Heavyweight. Of course, I like those. But my championship was the Spinner US Championship. And I even liked the regular design for the US Championship too. It was just really cool. So it just, at that time, they meant something. They were doing their thing. Remember, Chris Benoit was champion. King Booker T. We've seen Shelton Benjamin was Intercontinental Champion. There's just been so many different types of champions, and there are so many big matches that we can now see. I think WrestleMania in Hollywood is going to be better than WrestleMania in Dallas. And let's be real here, people. That was probably the best WrestleMania show that they put on in a while. I know we had the pandemic year and we had the WrestleMania in Tampa Bay and everything, and there were still restrictions and everything. But even before that, we weren't having good matches. We weren't having good pay-per-views. We weren't having, let's stop watching pay-per-views and have disqualifications like we were talking about earlier with the DQ finishes. Let's have pay-per-views end a rivalry. And yes, that great idea. If you don't want to use like if you want to get rid of the 24/7 championship, or if you don't want the Intercontinental Champion, if you for some reason don't think that's prestigious, make a TV title or make something like the TBS title. I don't even know what they would call it. Who knows? But at least with Triple H in charge, we know it's not going to be something called dumb, and it's not going to be something stupid that everybody is like, what in the hell are we doing? And what the hell are we talking about? Because that makes no sense. Like, it just, there's just so many different types of opportunities, people, that could really go on here. Anything else anybody wants me to talk about? Anything else anybody wants to mention before I say goodbye? Before we get ready for Raw tonight? Because Raw is a must-see show, everybody. I don't know what's going to happen, but it is going to be so interesting to see, and I just cannot wait for it. So we kept talking to everybody, and if anybody else got any more ideas or anything they want to mention, let your boy Tino know, and I'll talk about it. But I was saying about the schedule for this week, no more breaks, commercial break. How did I not mention commercial breaks? Thank you. We complain about it every week. Commercial breaks. Let's see Raw have 30, 45 minutes and then a commercial break. I get you got to pay the bills. I understand. You got to pay the bills. You got to do this. You got to do that. But you also have to make sure that we don't get bored and we're not sleeping at 8:30 because the commercials are so long. Like, let's do picture in picture. Yeah, screen to screen. We see it on NXT. We see it on Wednesdays with the AEW. We see it on Rampage. Picture in picture would be phenomenal on Monday nights because it's 3 hours. It's a long show, people. It's a long day. And, I get through it. Everybody comes and hangs out with your boy Tino. But sometimes it's not good. And yet, at least with picture in picture, we could at least see what is going on. Because it's just the commercial breaks are too long and too much that they're like overdoing it. Like, there's just no point. No point. Yeah, recycled storylines. Like I said, the rematches and the this and the that. And let's see fresh. Let's see fresh faces. Like, let's see the people in catering. Let's see the people that aren't getting opportunities. Let's see them wrestle. Where's Xia Li? Like I said, I go on and on and on about all the people that don't get the opportunities that they truly and rightfully deserve. It's crazy, people. But you know what? Let's not worry about what's going to happen right this second. Let's enjoy that finally the trash has been thrown out. Vince is retired. The man, Triple H, the game is in charge. Asuka versus Xia Li. Asuka versus Io Shirai. Asuka, bring back, like you said earlier, bring back the old Asuka. There's just, like I said, so many great things, people, that could really go on and that we could see. So let's celebrate for another 4 hours, 5 hours. Then let's get ready for Monday Night Raw. Everybody, if you haven't already, please subscribe, like this episode, turn that notification button on so you know when we go live for Raw at 7 o'clock, and come hang out and let's watch probably the most anticipated Raw in a long time, because the game, Triple H, is in charge. Friday or Thursday, we got my SummerSlam preview show. I'm going to tell you everything that's going to go down at SummerSlam. If anything else is added or anything else happens, I'll make sure to let everybody know. But make sure to join me on Thursday for that. Then Friday, join me for the SmackDown live stream as we watch Friday Night SmackDown and everything that goes down on Fox. Please elaborate on whether Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. I could very well see that happening. I could very well see that Brock Lesnar possibly, and that's the thing, let's see Brock Lesnar fight guys that isn't needed for the title. Like, Brock could have a rivalry and fight Randy, not for the WWE champion. Or let's see him fight Brock, or let's see him fight Braun Breaker. Let's see him fight somebody. And if Brock wants to come back and be the guy that we all know Brock, like we know Brock can perform and everything, that's fine. But let's see him be in an actual storyline like he was with Kurt Angle. And yes, that involved the title, but that was one of the best storylines back in the day. Let's see something like that with like Brock is trying to elevate some younger guy and everything like that. And yes, Triple H isn't going to rip up the scripts, like I said. He's not going to rip up the scripts, and hopefully they have them in advance. So hopefully that answers your question. What I think that Brock Lesnar and Brock Lesnar versus Randy Orton is a possibility. And I also think Brock Lesnar versus a lot of other people is a very good possibility. Or maybe Brock really is mad and maybe Brock really does leave. But if Brock really does leave, or Brock, if Brock really does leave, then let him leave. Yes, Brock Lesnar is one of the best and everything. But if he don't want to be there, don't have him there, because he's just going to be there and not want to be there and not happy. And you always have to remember, you want to see a happy environment and a good backstage environment because it makes work fun. You want to go to work instead of, oh, I got to go sit in the office with Vince McMahon and Bruce and do this and do that. And I just, Brock versus Stevens. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll probably see that. Yeah, there's so much going to be happening, everybody. I really hope I've answered everybody's questions. If you do have more questions, come and hang out tonight for Raw. I got to go get ready to make sure we get that tribute video live out at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, 25 minutes away. Everybody, go make sure to go check out the Rey Mysterio tribute video coming out in 40 minutes. I was talking about the schedule. And the last thing on Saturday, make sure to come and hang out for the biggest party of the summer on Saturday. I almost said Sunday. Not used to the biggest party of the summer being on Saturday. It's usually on Sunday and it's the day before school. But it's in July and it's on a Saturday. So that's good. So make sure to come and hang out with your boy Tino on Saturday for SummerSlam, the biggest party of the summer in Nashville. We'll be right here, and we'll be right here 7 o'clock. So thank you, everybody, for coming and hanging out on this episode of Tino's Time Wrestling. Triple H is in charge of WWE Creative. Pop the bottles. I just shook my water. Can't open it now. Let's pop the bottles. Let's celebrate, and let's have a good all day. So until I see all of you tonight for one of the most must-see WWE Raws in a very long time, this is your boy Tino signing out. And yes, we'll end it like this. It's time to play the game.